All right, you have to admit, that shot right there, that's pretty badass. What's going on, guys? Talon back here, and today I wanted to talk about kind of an interesting topic that I've been seeing a lot on not only Twitter, but some of the forums that I've been reading as well recently, and that has to do with the Dragon Ball Super Manga and anime, actually. So, a little bit of backstory when it comes to how manga and anime are made, if you don't really know. Usually manga's made first, and then it's adapted into a TV series. Now, 9 times out of 10, most people prefer the manga. I mean, look at anything popular like One Piece, Naruto, any big top manga, productions right now. Heck, even smaller ones that I've read in the past, like Shokugeki no Soma or Kuroko no Basuke. Manga is easily better than the anime. Now, I do know that the anime is obviously limited. You only get a certain amount of episodes per season, and if you don't do well, then you don't get renewed for a new season, whereas manga has a little bit more of, a resting period if the author himself or herself need to rest, so that is to be acknowledged. And even Dragon Ball itself. Dragon Ball obviously was written by Akira Toriyama, and he wrote he made the entire series that we know from Dragon Ball all to the end of Z, and then it was adapted into an anime show. Super is a little different, though. Super is a little different. He has created the original story and the character design concepts of the anime, but then is turned over to the director over there at the production studios. And they go with it. They go with what he has given them, and, he kind of reviews it after they look at it, but they kind of still get final say in this. It's kind of similar to how GT was made, and why GT, in a lot of people's opinions, didn't do very well, besides some of the concepts like Super Saiyan 4 and stuff. He had a little bit of design input and characters and stuff at the very beginning, but then after that, it was nothing. He didn't do anything after that. He is still on board right now with Super as it's currently going forward, though, okay? So, the big question is, though, what is considered canon? Because usually it would say, well, obviously the manga is canon, and then the anime is canon to a degree, unless they add in a bunch of extra stuff, unless it's okayed by the creator himself. That's not the case, though, because both the manga and the anime are, the original design concepts and the story and everything are, again, designed by Akira Toriyama, but then they are given to 2 separate divisions, one for the manga, one for the anime. The anime, of course, is already going. As we already know, we're about to go into the next arc after the Future Trunks arc, but the manga itself is actually a little behind. The manga was originally ahead of it for a little while, and for the most part, it is the same story, but the manga itself is written by a guy, or mostly illustrated by a guy called, I'm going to butcher his name here, Toyo Taro, and he is responsible actually for the official Resurrection F manga adaptation, okay? So he explains, though, in a little interview that I found online, that he receives the major plot points from Toriyama, and then he goes in and he fills in the details himself, and then he sends a storyboard to Toriyama to review, and then the manga is published. Now, the manga is not published every week. It's only about once a month, give or take, that we get a decently long chapter. It's longer than what you'd averagely get per week here with a lot of popular mangas here and there, okay? So, but there are some subtle differences, and I've been seeing a lot of people saying, I prefer the anime, I prefer the manga. I myself personally would say I prefer the manga, and the only reason for that is because that's how it's been usually when I've either read manga and then it's adapted into an anime. I will say Dragon Ball Z was very, very good in its adaptation of the manga and made the anime very good, even with all the fillers and all the screaming that we got used to when we were younger watching that and everything. But I can definitely say I've watched some other anime, and oh my gosh, guys, learn how to do it. Seriously, Z, pull from Z. That's the way to do it, okay? So, but I'm just going to go over a few little things. So right now, I'm going to be putting a big spoiler warning over in case you haven't, maybe you're only watching the dub, so you haven't seen the Trunks arc yet, or you haven't read, up to the current chapter of the manga that was just released a couple days ago, actually. So I'm going to be putting a big spoiler warning right now. Obviously, if you watch the anime in Japanese, you know that we're past that already, but there are subtle differences. And in my opinion, it's a little better than the anime. The anime has been pretty good so far after the first two movie, arcs, which personally I wish they had not even done to begin with. But one of the few things that they do, you have the time and the ability to do in a manga is expand on backstories and everything. One thing, for example, they expanded a lot on the backstory of when Trunks was training with the Supreme Kai in his timeline, or for a fact that they actually showed the fight between Beerus and his brother Champa when they got mad at his birthday cake and everything, which is really cool. You see him like flying around destroying planets and asteroids and everything, which is really, really cool. I understand, like, again, I've said this before, that an anime is restricted to its episode limit, its budget, its timing. I understand that completely. But this is obviously where the manga has a home stretch advantage in being able to have that extra time to do this and everything. But one thing that has really caught a lot of people's attention is that since the end of the Trunks arc with the anime, they've come out and said that the manga adaptation is going to have a lot of differences, actually. And one thing that is a huge difference by far, if you've read the last two chapters of the manga, is one, Trunks is extremely strong in the manga. He can obviously, his Super Saiyan 2 is at the same level as Goku in Super Saiyan 3, basically, when he is fully powered up, which is, I don't think that was the case in the anime, or maybe they did a little bit, but they didn't exactly, emphasize it a lot, I guess it would be the word I'm looking for. Another difference is that when they go to the future for the first time, the Zamasu in the current timeline, he's killed off really fast. He's definitely killed off pretty fast. That obviously could just be the way that the writer wanted to do it, but they definitely cut through a lot of that, and they make it really fast. But we get to see a little bit more backstory into who Zamasu is, because there's a scene where he's fighting Kibito Kai. You never saw that in the anime. Like, Supreme Kai from our timeline, he knows about Zamasu already. Like, he's acknowledged him. He's kind of like, I'd be a little curious about this guy here. But they know, you see a little bit more of a backstory there. And when Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks go back to the future, Vegeta fights him first. And at that time, Goku Black, he cannot go Super Saiyan Rose. He can only go Super Saiyan. Or I guess maybe Super Saiyan 2. Sometimes the drawings, it looks like there's lightning, but I'm not really sure. So it's kind of hard to say on that one. But Vegeta just wails on him like no tomorrow. And, this is before, and Zamasu hasn't even come in yet. The future Zamasu, who's immortal and everything, he hasn't come in yet. So Black is just getting wailed on, and Vegeta almost takes him out. But then we come to know about the whole Zenkai boost, where the Saiyans are at the brink of death and they got healed up and they get a huge power boost. They have been it's even explained, they have been keeping Trunks alive just to increase Goku Black's power, which I thought is actually really smart. It really shows us how does he actually get Super Saiyan Rose. In the anime, he just goes Super Saiyan Rose. That's it. We don't really know why. You could assume maybe that is the reason Trunks was still alive in the anime, but we were never told that. We're never given that, really, at least to my knowledge. I went back and watched a bunch of the episodes, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was not the case. So we actually get to see him go Super Saiyan Rose, and then Vegeta starts to get his butt kicked a little bit. They're fighting and everything, and he just keeps getting healed by Zamasu. Goku eventually jumps in, and we find out that Zamasu is immortal, obviously, and Goku fights him, and but it's just. It was really subtle details like that I really liked and everything. And then, of course, at the very end, if you saw the picture, obviously, that I showed at the very beginning of my video, Trunks is a badass. We all knew he was a badass in the anime no matter what, but, the dude, just tricks Black and Zamasu into thinking Goku and Vegeta are there as they escape back to the past so they can get the Mafaba and everything, and we're going to be going for round 2, and we don't know if we're going to be getting Vegeta, we don't know if we're going to go Vegeta or whatever. Probably Vegeta would be my guess. We're going to be getting him eventually, but like I said, a lot is supposedly changing in the manga, so we don't know what's going to be happening, but Trunks just flies up behind Zamasu, takes his sword, right in the back, just throws him to the side and just goes over and starts punching the crap out of Black. Loved it. It's little epic moments like that to just make the manga so much better in my mind. Don't get me wrong, the anime definitely has its moments as well, but I guess you can call me a little biased here and sometimes, but nonetheless, I loved that scene. That was so cool. I was like, yeah, this is why I like reading it. So, yeah. But, yeah, and then so it really does make me curious, though, what's going to happen after the, obviously, how is the future Trunks arc going to wrap up in the manga version? It's probably not going to wrap up for another I'd probably say 3 or 4 months, probably, just because of how, you know, obviously one chapter only comes out per month, give or take, and if there's a break in between there somewhere, then obviously you have to count for that too. But it makes me wonder, though, what's going to happen with the next arc, which is going to be the survival arc. That I am definitely looking forward to, because they definitely give us, you know, even if we go back to the Universe 6, Universe 7 little tournament arc, that it has some subtle differences that the anime does not. Kaioken times 10 Blue Goku, not even in the manga. Not even in the manga. That is all anime. It is all anime down to the T and the dots there, okay? I mean, what I loved about that arc as well is that, you know, Whis explains to Beerus that, you know, and Goku even says it to Vegeta, he's like, oh, you could have beaten Hit, no problem. But because he went Super Saiyan Blue against Kaba to train him, he wasn't at full strength to take on Hit. Obviously, you still had to deal with Hit's time leap, but Vegeta definitely would have had a little bit more of an advantage if he had not gone Super Saiyan Blue against Kaba. So it's just little differences like that. I mean, especially Super Saiyan Blue. They take Super Saiyan Blue in the manga, like, if you use it, that's going to be your one time to use it. You do not keep going in and out of it like they do in the anime. They treat it just like a normal Super Saiyan, basically. Whereas in the manga, it's definitely like, you know, it takes a lot of stamina to go in here, but the moment you go into it, oh, you are a powerful guy. You are powerful like no tomorrow, and you have to just go all out. So I would be interested to know, what do you guys think? What if Super Saiyan Kaioken, take something like Kaioken times 10 Blue Goku. That was, like I said, was never in the manga. What do you think? Do you like it in the anime? Do you actually prefer the way that the manga did it? Because when the manga did it, he fights him in Super Saiyan like he does in the anime, and then he can actually, Goku can still go Super Saiyan God, the, you know, the red hair and everything. He can go into that form, and then he goes Super Saiyan Blue. That is his highest form. So I'm curious to know what you guys think, though. Do you like that version better? Do you like the anime version better? Or do you like both? I mean, yes, we can all like both. I like both personally myself. Manga's a little bit higher than that for me, but nonetheless, I personally loved the manga version of just a little bit more. So, but anyway, but yeah, those are the subtle differences that we are getting in the manga. A lot of people asking about it. What is considered canon? Technically, I don't know. We'd have to have someone literally come out and say, this is canon. We know Dragon Ball Super is canon, obviously. In terms of if the anime is canon or the manga is canon, we don't know. Technically, the manga was out first for a while, but the anime pulled ahead. So we really don't know. We just don't know. Unless if you have links to actual interviews and everything translated, please leave it down in the comment section below and let us know, obviously, so we know this. But yeah, I am curious to know, though. You know, I could keep rambling on about this just talking about little differences here and there and everything. And I'm sure I missed a few of the differences between the manga and the anime. But nonetheless, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, you know, between the manga and the anime versions. Do you like both? Do you like one over the other? You know, let's not get into a huge fight about, you know, you're wrong. But, you know, let's just talk about it. This is, you know, personally really cool. And it kind of shows you the little subtle differences that you can have and everything. So anyway, guys, that's going to be it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like if you liked the video and leave your comments down below like I said before. And do not forget to subscribe if you are new. And let me know if you want me to do a little more discussion videos like this in every here and there, because it is pretty cool. Because I definitely read these chapters every month when they come out, and I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty badass. So yeah. Anyway, guys, like I said before, that'll be it for the video, and I will see you in the next one.